hello, and welcome to another episode of the playonultra podcast. What the fuck? Episode 182.
What
I forgot what podcast this was.
New podcast, guys.
So
Play
many.
on Medium.
Oh boy.
So yeah, it's been a month. Because that's what we do now, monthly. That's how it works. Time. Ooh.
What is time?
Oh, I just noticed they have our names up now on the Discord call. Why?
Oh, does it?
Why does
Oh,
not-
you're right.
Oh,
If I mouse
it
over,
does.
I see it. If
Oh,
I don't mouse
Yeah, you
over,
gotta
I
put your
don't see
mouse
it.
over. Yeah, if you put your mouse away, it doesn't do it. But yeah, oh, that is.
But it's,
None of these
is it
people
because
can
I'm
see
hosting the call? I'm seeing it all the time now.
Oh, that's weird. Nope, I don't see it unless I hover over it.
So I guess this episode you will finally know our names after 182 episodes, I guess.
At least we
I'll
all
see if I can
sound
remove it or
different.
something.
There's at least one podcast I listen to where of the three people, two of them sound pretty similar. So there's no visuals. It's really hard to know who's talking until you listen to like 100 episodes. Like I know the distinctions now.
Oh, geez, that would drive me nuts.
It's pretty. Yeah.
It takes me a while to get, like, distinct. Like, I can after a while, but, like, it takes me a hot minute to be like, oh, different people.
I have to, I definitely have to know to be listening for it. Like, I'm watching an anime right now, and I knew that, like, yokai means, like, monster or something like that.
Yeah.
But apparently, ryokai means okay. And for a long time, I just couldn't hear the beforehand, but sometimes I can hear it. I have to be listening for it.
Yeah, fair enough. What's a different language, for sure.
That's true. I'm also, I'm not, like, taking it, but I took a few Duolingo courses on Klingon, and the first lesson's all about, like, the
Seriously?
alphabet. And good grief, is it hard. Like, it's like, is this an A or an H? Like, or it's just like, like, it's just they're so similar.
Oh my god.
I don't have
I didn't know they offered that.
They
Really either.
have
That's hilarious.
Klingon, they have Dothraki, and they might have Elvish. There's like 3 fantasy languages on there. I can't remember. What the
That
third
would
one
make
is.
sense. I mean,
Elvish
those three
from
would
Lord
make
of the Rings,
sense.
I guess.
Yeah.
I think so. I don't remember.
Yeah, Elvish does have, like, it has a whole thing, and Dothraki, they did basically make a language, and I know Klingon does as well. It reminds me of a random story that I thought was fake, but maybe is real. There is some, like meet cute story, like how we met kind of story, and it was these two people that were from different countries, and so... but they met, I guess, through a Star Trek fan
saw this
site or
story.
something. Yeah, and so they didn't have any similar languages except Klingon.
Seriously?
Yeah, so apparently
That
that's
is
how, like, they
Nerdy
met.
as hell, but it's kind of cute.
I know. It's cute. It's just like, oh my... I guess eventually, I don't know which language
The
they decided
language
to
of
kinda
love.
also- I know, right? Klingon of all things.
Klingon is the language of love then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine making love to that.
I don't want to know those screams, so thank you.
Do they make love or do they fight? A love fight? Sex fight?
They love fight. They definitely said dominance battle or something. I was telling
to
a
see
friend
who's
that,
on
and they're
top, I
like,
guess.
why would you learn a made-up language? Like, they're all made up, man. All languages are made up. There's no non-made-up
Yeah.
language. Like, what does that even mean?
Whatever. Yeah, exactly. It's whatever. It's your free time. Spend it. The world's gone to shit anyway. Although I did get my vaccine, I am fully vaccinated.
Is
Both
it a
doses?
one-shot one?
Nice.
Nope, 2 shots.
Two
I got
shots.
the Moderna one. Because I am technically a healthcare worker, I was able to get on that train.
I'm
It
having
took
a really
while.
hard time going through the system. Like, my doctor's like, yeah, you're immunocompromised. You should get the vaccine. And I'm like,
Oh, really? Okay.
at no point through anything I've tried to sign up for do they ask about my health. They only ask about my job, and they don't care about my job. So, like, I don't know what to do.
Wait, if
That
you're
is very frustrating.
immunocompromised, you shouldn't take it, right?
I
Well,
should
depends on
take
the
it,
kind
but-
of
You take it.
immunocompromise. It depends
It
on
could
the kind
hit me
of
harder.
immunocompromise.
They
okay.
generally want more than 2 weeks between both doses in my case.
Yeah, mine was a month in between, so it shouldn't matter too much.
So
it depends on the type of immunocompromise.
Okay.
I
That's
think.
true.
But can you, like, you said more than 2 weeks. Does that mean, like, if, let's say, like Moderna, did you, what was the gap between the 2 shots?
4 weeks.
Okay. And that,
And
and you must follow that, right?
Yeah, from what I understood, they insisted
That's what I
on following
understand from how it
4
works.
weeks. Yeah,
Yeah, you gotta
Pfizer I
follow
guess
that.
does. Yeah, Pfizer I guess is 3 weeks. Moderna's 4 weeks. And Johnson & Johnson's just 1 shot.
So, Fo has to look for something that's more than 2 weeks then. So it's not something that you
Yeah.
can just like, okay, I'll take this one, but I'll just wait longer. No, you gotta
I
take
guess,
it.
yeah. I'm
scheduled.
not
Okay.
exactly sure how it works in his case.
I feel
but
like
I would
that's the
think it
case.
should be
Okay.
fine. Yeah, I know it's such a bear though. Like I had a hard time getting it. I'm a healthcare worker. I had to get it because I work in one county in my state, but I live in a different county, and so I was trying to get you can do it either way. It shouldn't in theory matter because they just want to make sure it's either you work or live in the county that you're applying to. So I originally was trying to get it through the county I live in because it's more convenient. I don't have to drive so far in theory. But I did the way that the county I live in, they had a whole like county sign up thing, and I did it twice, and I never heard back at all.
Jeez.
And then actually it was really stupid what happened. I don't mean to call out the county I work in, but I have to because it was so dumb. So the county I work in, my workplace actually said, hey, very last minute, literally the week before, which my job involves having a very strict set of clients, so I had to suddenly reschedule everybody. It was very frustrating. But anyway, they were like, hey, sign up to get the vaccine on this day, and they had a whole thing where it worked out really well because it was in February, and with the months how they work, February's array of dates and days of the week is exactly the same as March. So like if it was Friday the 12th in February is also Friday the 12th in March. So they had a really, really good system. You know, you signed up for a time slot and then you got your first shot and then you came back that same day of the week and time in March to get your second shot. Very simple system, right? Well, then then we couldn't do that. Basically what happened was, so I work for an agency, and basically the head, it's like a county-wide agency that, basically my agency works for, if that makes sense. It's healthcare. So just think of it that way. So think of, just a community mental, health network. The big people basically said, no, you little people can't do your own sites for the vaccine. You have to go through us. So instead what happened is I had to re-sign up for the day through the big county website, and then I had to wait in line for an hour at my time to get my second dose of vaccine with a whole bunch of other people. It was very dumb. But I got it. That's all that matters. So I don't know how this process is going to get easier because I've heard in the county I live in that it's just as chaotic, but we'll see. Crossing my fingers. Hopefully it's not so bad, but we'll see. Yay, vaccines.
So I
Yeah,
guess...
I ended up going through a different route and just saying I was a teacher because I volunteer in a classroom, and the teacher in the classroom said I could say I was a teacher because they might go back to in-class classes. So I'm like, hopefully that'll get the conversation started and I can present my real reason as long as I talk to a person, not get turned away by all these automated systems.
That makes sense.
Okay. And it's different by state to state.
County. Yeah, even within the
State
state,
to
it's
state
different.
and counties, yeah. So state by state, and then the county. So other pieces within the state.
A county is like a group of cities, basically.
Yeah. So it's a fun process. America is too big.
So vaccines, I guess. What else did you guys do?
So I did see the first episode just now of
I watched it too.
Falcon and Winter Soldier. Yeah. A little slower start, is my only thing. I liked it, though, but just a slower start than I was expecting. Definitely a bit of a wham ending, so I am definitely curious how it's gonna end up. But I'm happy with the first episode, so that's cool.
Yeah, story-wise, I'm very happy with it.
Okay. Everybody finished Wandavision here?
Yes, well, I did.
Yeah, I just finished it a few days ago.
Nice.
I really liked it. It's really good.
Okay.
Yeah. It was really fun, and the sitcom stuff, everything is really good. But I'm not sure if you guys saw this on Twitter, but there was a conversation, I guess. It's basically two sides. One side is Marvel and Disney. What's the word? Negatively portrays the military, and there's another side that says that no, they don't. They actually portray it positively. And after watching WandaVision, I'm not sure how anybody can say that, because to me, the military aspect of the Marvel movies is not the military. The military to me are the superheroes. It still has the we are sending these powerful people overseas. Fuck all y'all. And they don't get shit for it. And WandaVision is exactly that. And it just annoys the fuck out of me how nobody can see that these superheroes are just a stand-in for the fucking, like, what's really happening in the, like, it's just really annoying to me. Like, or just because they don't hold guns and they don't wear camouflage that they're not a stand-in. Like, it's just, I know this is, like, completely unrelated, but it's just really annoying.
I mean, this is kind of what the whole Civil War was supposed to be about.
It was,
I know, but it's just like, I don't think you can say that Marvel 100% do not portray foreign, like, superpowers, you know? Like, not
foreign superpowers.
Yeah. American superpowers being sent to foreign lands. I
don't
think you can say that 100% they don't portray that.
And that was kind of the plot of Black Panther as well, right? Or not Black Panther. I guess like the Avengers where they go to Wakanda. It's like, oh man, foreign, stuff happening.
Yeah,
I guess
I mean, since
Avengers 2 was it right? The Sokovia one where they dropped the whole fucking.
Yep.
That was Age of Ultron.
2? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, 2. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, Marvel has never really liked to actually answer the question of American involvement in foreign affairs.
I think it's kind of like it's like a few bad apples kind of thing that they try to paint, because I feel like if you go, I haven't seen this, but if you go to Disneyland and they have like in California, the Disneyland California park, they have like a Marvel sector now. And it's kind of military. Like, oh, the parade! It's the parade! And it's like Black Widow on like a Humvee. You're like, this is just like watching a military parade. Like, what is this? Yeah. So like, the military's good in Marvel Land, but there's always, of course, like, oh wow. But like, what about
Avengers
those like that specific branch is not so good.
They're backed by Shield and everything. How is that not military at all?
Shield and sword and all those guys.
Because it's not the U.S. Army doesn't mean it's not military. Number one, just because they don't hold guns, it's not the.
And to be fair, whenever they try to do anything with, like, this military's no good, it's a fake military. Like, I loved WandaVision, but let's be clear here. SWORD was kind of being evil. The FBI was good, right? Because Jimmy led them, and they were the ones that apprehended the bad guys. Like, let's not pretend here that, when they... I did read somewhere...
The Air Force is good guys.
Yes, exactly. Same with that, because of what we saw with Falcon and Bucky, Winter Soldier, could think of the name. So I did read somewhere, and I'm not saying this as an excuse. I'm actually saying this to go like, whew, that's messed up. I read somewhere that I guess Marvel does have, or maybe it's just the military in the United States in general, that if you're going to reference like actual military groups, you must portray them in a positive light.
And the U.S. military official Twitter account actually tweeted something like not that long ago, like a week or two ago, find out how we work with media companies to portray the U.S. Army correctly, not accurately. Correctly, because if they're gonna portray them accurately, they have to show all the fucking war crimes and all the rape and the murders of women and children.
I've heard also people get mad, or countries get mad whenever a Hollywood movie destroys their landmarks.
So I just don't understand these people. I see the superheroes, and to me that's just powerful people, powerful militaristic elements getting away with shit, especially murdering innocents. That's just like...
They are vigilantes.
Yeah.
I don't know if they represent countries, though.
They don't represent countries, but we all know the Avengers are technically the U.S.
They're American more than anybody.
They operate in the U.S.
Yeah.
Civil War is about them being U.S. Civil servants.
Well,
so U.S. agents. So it's very American.
Right. I mean, certainly Iron Man and Captain America are very much American. The rest
Black Widow, too. She's a Russian,
Black Widow's Russian. Thor's not a human. Hulk's just chaos.
But still, they all they're based there. When they fuck up a country, it's always like they go to Sokovia and fuck it. You know what I mean?
I mean, listen. I love superhero stories. I love Marvel. It's a comfort thing. But I'm not. But for sure, like superheroes in their inception was always a bit of a, this big, powerful thing knows all right and justice to fight against the bad guys, sometimes in foreign countries.
To be fair, Nazis aren't
You
the bad
can
guys, so,
find
That's fair.
you can find huge threads now on how if Captain America existed today, he'd be arrested. Because if he he'd be like using his shield to break off the spikes that prevent homeless people from sleeping on benches, and he'd get arrested for that. He would be standing up for human rights. I mean, Steve Rogers would stand up for human rights, and the police don't like that.
That's the idea.
Because police aren't good guys today anymore.
Yeah, if it's created today, I wonder who Captain America will be on the side of.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think that's what's so hard too. Is you bring up a good point. Like Hitler was a bad guy, and that is kind of where superheroes.
That's like the only war that has like a clear bad guy.
That was the crazier thing about the Marvel Civil War in the comics was Captain America didn't side with the government. The government said you have to register to be a superhero, and Captain America is like no, and Iron Man towed the line because he's a shill, capitalist shill.
It's almost as if the comics. I don't know. I just feel like. Definitely the comics are way more like Disney and Marvel. They have to think of a lot of things before they make something.
Comics are less afraid to be controversial.
Yeah. I mean, Civil War, yes, Captain America was still on the side of like good, I guess, but like we mentioned, like Disney and Marvel, they just touch on things and then it's like
I mean, it sometimes does feel like, that they, I'm not going to give the writers this much credit, but just that like maybe there are bigger, stories they might want to say, but probably just can't for all the reasons we just
and also Disney and Marvel is like a multi-billion-dollar company, and nobody should be defending them at all for anything. Like they don't need defending. Just stop. They don't need you to defend them.
Stuff, but I'm not here to defend them.
Only complaint I had about this episode of Winter Soldier and Falcon, or other way around, I guess this is a very minor spoiler for the very first scene, so it's not that big a deal, is as visually pleasing and exciting as it was, that first fight scene did not make any sense to me. It's just like, oh man, we're gonna go into a plane. Okay, we're leaving the plane and we're diving into a helicopter. Okay, we're leaving the helicopter and diving into a second helicopter. Okay, we're leaving the helicopter and we're diving, and then we're gonna shoot a little thing out of your back, and that's gonna do all of the work. And then you're gonna go into a third helicopter and just like, there's no consequences. You're just doing things because you can. And I'm loving it, but it doesn't make any sense.
It makes no sense, but I loved every minute of it. It made no sense. And yet, I still
I kind of hope the entire series is just that ridiculous now.
Kind of. I mean, so all of the other stuff, like the talking in the story was great. Like there's I think the therapist and the Winter Soldier, that's like the best scene in the whole episode. There's a scene where Falcon's trying to get a loan from the bank. It's like, ooh, like social commentary, like more please. So it was good.
Yeah.
That episode was great.
It seems like it does seem like they did sprinkle a bit of African American commentary in this. I'll be curious how far they push it.
I think it's gonna be a very strong B plot with him and his family trying to do stuff.
Exactly. Just they really started doing some hints at it. Well, I mean, Falcon kind of outright said, "I'm not gonna let those whiteys tell us what to do" or something like that.
Yeah, and there's another big thing which I can't say because that would, I think, spoil the episode. But that thing at the very end, I think, is definitely a race thing as well.
Oh, absolutely. It better be. Otherwise, I have a lot of questions. But yeah, I was like, all right, because I think this series is rated R, so is this gonna be?
Oh,
seriously?
I didn't notice that. Cool.
That's what I heard. I gotta double
sure?
check.
I'll be surprised, but it could be.
Huh.
Oh, they introduced a new. I think it's a new character. I don't know if he appears in a previous movie, but Falcon now has like an army buddy who's basically, it's funny because even though Falcon's not Captain America, this person's like his Bucky Barnes. Like, I'm gonna do good and you're gonna be my mentor. She's like, oh, okay, I haven't decided if I like you or not. I mean, your heart's in the right place, but you may prove to be very annoying in your naivete and goodness.
Yep, it's an TV R rating.
Now, well, nice.
Is it different from a movie R rating?
I think there's a bit of a difference, but I don't remember.
I'm very surprised.
TV ratings and movie ratings are a little different. So it might be a little, it might be not as like a traditional R-rated movie. I didn't know this. I didn't know this. WandaVision was TV PG for the first 3 episodes and then TV 14 for the rest of them, which is interesting. You
I
don't
didn't know
get
you
a
could
lot
do
of
that.
shows that change them.
I didn't even know
I'm sorry?
14 was a thing.
I didn't know you could rate your specific episodes.
Episodically.
Yeah, that's something. The last time I'd seen that was like I feel like Futurama had episodes like that, where sometimes it was PG and sometimes it was TV 14. But no, it's not typical. But yeah, Falcon Winter Soldier is.
I guess it's
At least for the first episode.
Maybe, yeah.
I guess
now
it helps they have their own streaming service and don't have to worry about like, the time slots on normal TV.
Yeah. So I'm not really sure. I'm a little confused because now I'm reading TV 14 on some of these. Because that first episode was not R-rated. It was definitely, I would say, it was a little more violent than the typical movies. There was a little more
a guy
violence.
gets stomped in the face, which is a little graphic. But other than that, there wasn't a ton.
Yeah, one of the Winter Soldier's kind of flashback fight was a little violent.
Right, I forgot about that.
But it was definitely not really an R-rated fight. R-rated.
Yeah.
It was like a little more violent than you might see in a traditional Avengers movie, I would say.
Sure.
They didn't like cut away immediately on some of those things. So I'll see. Maybe now I'm reading here that some are saying TV 14. So maybe the R was a rumor, or maybe certain episodes will be R. We'll see.
So yeah, WandaVision was really good, and I agree that Jimmy and like they all should get their own show. Just really good chemistry. They're really funny.
I know. Ugh, I loved WandaVision. That was a experience I just needed for myself, of something that like I could talk in rumors about and stuff like that. I just remember there was a lot of like. My wife is one of those people that she needs to binge a show. She does not like waiting. Well, I actually don't like binging at all. I'm the opposite. I actually prefer, like, if I have a show that I want to watch that I know has an end, I much prefer being like, I'm going to watch 2 episodes today, 2 episodes tomorrow. Like, I much prefer that process for me. I do not like binging. Unfortunately, I cannot do that with her. I have to. If she wants to watch something, we are basically watching the whole show in one day, which is very, like... It's actually like weird for me. Like I actually remember the shows less as a result.
That is a factual thing.
Yeah.
That if you when you binge something, when you consume a thing, you remember the beginning and end better. So the bigger that thing is, the bigger the middle is, and the less you'll remember.
Yep. Which is very disappointing because I have as a result watched actually a bunch of really random anime. But I don't even know if I could describe them very well to you because I've just been binging. But that's what I loved about WandaVision was we didn't have to binge it. We could take each episode and then like predict and talk about what's going to happen in the next episode. And, I didn't get that immediate gratification. It was really nice. Like I haven't really had a show that I followed with a new episode that I kept up with everybody in years. So this was really nice. I know like,
I was hoping for like a bit more of the mysterious before like the big reveal. It was quite early, I feel.
Yes, it was. And I think it probably felt early partially because you watched it pretty much all at once, right? You didn't watch it as the weeks went.
I think I did.
Which
well, yes, in a few days, but not like in one day. It's like 2
not
episodes.
Not one day, but like you weren't watching it week by week though, right?
No. I waited for all the episodes to be out.
Yeah, and I think that's the difference. Like, this is a show that I think would be... I don't know if you could get quite the same exact experience if you tried to binge it all in one day. Because, like, part of the reason why that reveal was, I think, needed to be there was honestly because people were impatient. Like, I'm just going to say it. When this show first came out, because there was the first 2 episodes that came out, they put them out in one day, and people were still, like, pissed. They were like, "What's happening?" Like they just could not be patient. I just really
like the whole, like the sprinkles of like what the hell is happening.
Yes,
it's so cool, and then all that.
It's so good.
Ended, yeah.
I guess that's true. I know.
I would have liked more episodes that were almost just the parody and like not much else beyond that.
I know, same. But I also know why they didn't, because like I said, I was around, and there were some pissed off people, and it was like. Calm down.
I really like the 30-minute episodes. Just feels really nice that you don't have to sit for a whole hour. What's Falcon?
The first episode was 47
50,
minutes.
47 minutes. We'll see how they go from there. Because WandaVision, I think, started off short, and in the ending, they were long.
Yeah, I understand it's because, like, sitcoms are 30 minutes. But I really did like the 30 minutes, just really nice, bite-sized.
Yeah. and just it was just so tight. Like, one of the things I loved about WandaVision was how they had took such careful care with how they did the shots. Like, especially in the beginning, you could tell what shots were the sitcom moments and what shots were the what's going on here moments, where it became like super modern like angles and stuff. Ugh, I love it. I really enjoyed WandaVision.
Speaking of modern angles, I watched most of. I think I have 10 minutes left, and I'll finish it. But I watched Guns Akimbo.
Oh, okay.
You guys remember that movie? It was it's the one where Daniel Radcliffe gets machine guns like nailed to his hands.
Okay, I've heard of it. I've never watched it.
Yeah, I thought it might be okay. It was not. It
was not.
It's pretty bad.
Oh, okay.
I mean, so on the topic of camera angles, they had some rig on their camera which let them do like a complete like 360 roll of their camera, and they use it like every like 15 minutes. Like it made sense the first couple times they used it, like, oh, he's out of bed and he's feeling woozy, but then they just use it constantly. But really just is the writing. The writing's the bad part. The action's fine, I guess. The writing's just pretty boring. It's like someone tried to write a Harlequin movie but did it badly, I guess. I don't know. I have nothing to recommend it.
Speaking of overused, I don't know if it's camera angles or just special effects, did anybody watch Snyder's Justice League?
Not yet. Do I have to watch Batman vs. Superman first?
Oh, God. Just read a wiki article.
Yeah.
Okay.
Technically,
basically,
it takes place
their mom
directly
shares
after.
the same name. Like, that's the only thing you should know.
It's just not worth like sitting through unless you're
seriously.
super bored. It's just
It's 4
so
hours
bad.
long. I've been hearing good things about it.
I only watched an hour and a half of it. So, because what happened was I had a game last night, and my wife's for my wife's job, she had to watch it. So she watched it last night, and I just knew, I'm like, I'm not going to be able to watch it because I had a thing I was going to do. So I watched like an hour and a half with her, and then I had to do something. And so she watched the rest of it. From the hour and a half I saw, I can tell you that, and also based on what she told me, if you guys watch the original Justice League, it's better insofar as there are more scenes that explain things. People get proper intros. The Flash actually gets like a true intro of his powers. There's more explanation of what the hell Steppenwolf is trying to do and why they're here and all that stuff. There's more care and like explanation and characterization. But other than that, it's a slog, from what I understood and what I watched.
Honestly, it sounds like they should have made a couple of movies out of this.
Say that again,
Trilogy.
Char?
It sounds like they should have made like a couple of movies at least out of it, rather than just one.
Yes, it doesn't make sense. Because, like, for instance, seeing the Flash, I was like, I just want a Flash movie. Like, just show me Flash or
what
Cyborg.
I mean exactly is, I know they planned on making it into a mini series, like 4 episodes of 1 hour. That's not what I mean. What I mean is not breaking this one movie into multiple pieces. I mean writing it like it's multiple movies.
I see.
With a beginning and an end for each release. That's what I mean. Because it's very different when you write one movie versus one 4-hour movie that you break into 4. Like, that's just really different.
It's just a slog. And the reason I was saying the overused scene or whatever, one of Snyder's thing, if you guys don't know, is his slow-mo effects. He loves
what was his
slow-mo.
previous stuff?
He did Watchmen and 300. That's the biggest ones I know. Watchmen I liked Watchmen, but Watchmen,
he likes super stylized stuff then, right?
Yes, he's very stylized. And Watchmen's a good fit for Snyder because it's meant to like take the superhero, whatever, and
turn
invert it and make
kinda,
it dark. And I feel like Snyder, that's what he wants to do. The Justice League is like make it super dark and weird. Like if you like read some of his interviews, and some of the weirdest stuff he wanted to add in these movies, it just was like, whoa, you're not making Watchmen, like you're making Justice League. But anyway, besides that. He uses that slow-mo effect so much, each with a different, like, track song. They're just like, well, why? This easily could have cut out maybe 15 minutes. And it leads to some really weird scenes.
He did Sucker Punch and also Legend of the Guardians, the Owls of Ga'Hoole.
I forgot that. Yeah, I never saw those. But yeah, he and his slow-mos, there's just too much.
It's to him what explosions are to Michael Bay.
Pretty much. And in this, like, in the first hour and a half that I saw, it was like every other scene, they had to do some random slow-mo with one of the superheroes.
Lens flares to J.J. Abrams.
Yeah, this isn't necessary.
That's upsetting.
It was just so much. But yeah, from what I've heard, like I said, if you are interested at all, which you might not be, apparently it does tell the story a little bit better, more clearly, and there's better, like, scenes with people.
I hear there's a better characterization for Cyborg. Among all
That's
of them,
what I didn't really...
The father-son relationship's better right here.
Yeah, I didn't get the full explanation. I didn't get the full part. His intro scene is a little longer. It shows more character of him before the him becoming Cyborg. The biggest thing too is they basically, I don't remember this part in the original movie. He's basically the most powerful person on the planet based on what
it's because
his powers.
In the Snyder cut they make him cyborg body from like old boombox tech, right? Not boombox. What do they call him? Boom tube tech.
Boom tube mother box. Yeah, I know. I'm laughing because my wife made the same mistake. It was like, oh, it's the boom box. And my brother had to correct her and be like, no, you're talking about the mother box and the boom tube.
So I think the problem is I forgot there were multiple mother boxes. I thought that there's a DC hero named Scott Free, and I thought he had the one. And there are multiple boom tubes, but I'm mistaken. There are multiple of both.
Yeah, there are multiple of both, I guess. There's more boom tubes, I think, than mother boxes. I don't know, man. But yeah,
such a dumb name.
It is.
But yeah, it's just...
Mother box wouldn't be happy with me.
But yeah, like his Cyborg's whole thing, like he can like crash the economy. Like that's their big thing. Like he can just make infinite money. One of the things they show that he does in the movie is some lady who's very poor. Like he, first of all, like kind of stalks her by like using communications and cameras to like watch her living in this destitute life, and then he basically accesses her bank account and just increases the money in it. And there's also this weird scene where, like, there's this symbol of, like, a bear and a bull, so it's, like, the bear-bull market fighting each other, and how he just decimates both of them because he's just in charge of the economy now. And I'm just like, this has a lot of weird implications I don't think we're ready for. So, yeah, it's a bit much. Also, Martian Manhunter does come into play. I didn't see him. I heard the scene he comes into play, and I'm actually mad.
No.
The scene he comes into play just doesn't seem necessary. He doesn't really do anything. He just shows up.
Yeah. Well, because Green Lantern doesn't show up at all, right?
No, you do see a hint of a Green Lantern, but it's a flashback. But it's not any of the ones we know. It looked like an alien, so I don't know. But none of the ones that we know. So yeah. Yeah, I only watched an hour and a half of it and was told about the rest of it, and I don't think I'm gonna watch it. I think I'll just read about it. But yeah, don't, if you can avoid watching Batman vs. Superman, I think that movie up there with Grimm Brothers is probably my least favorite movie of all time.
Okay. It's also bad too because I've read that comic and I've seen good comic or a cartoon adaptations of that story already, so like I don't need to watch a bad live action version of it.
Yeah, and this is bad. It's so bad. The only part I liked was the part everyone hated, which was Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor.
Do people like Ben Affleck as Batman? Because I've only seen pictures, I haven't seen any clips, and he looks goofy to me. I
thought he was fine, but I think the problem is he's a very different Batman. He can do it. I think the problem is it's a very...
He doesn't get enough.
He doesn't get enough, yeah.
Like, the first is Batman vs. Superman, right? That was his first, proper...
Yep. Yeah.
And
they way rushed Batman. It. They definitely rushed it.
Yeah.
They were trying to chase Marvel, and you shouldn't be trying to do that.
No.
Just do your own thing. Yeah.
Yeah, seriously. It's this Batman is different. Like he's older. He's actually much older than Superman is. Actually been around for a while. Like you kind of find out he's like dealt with the Joker, dealt with Robin,
honestly,
and stuff like that.
It sounds like a really cool Batman to like watch.
He does.
But he is quite old though. Ben Affleck is not a young spring chicken anymore, so it will be probably very hard to make like an origin or a prequel film.
Yeah. Well, they're trying to with Robert Pattinson.
Oh, is Robert Pattinson supposed to be that Batman?
I think so, yeah.
Oh,
because I think because Ben Affleck, I think, refused to do any more Batman films.
Yeah, he's not going to Batman no more.
He was actually going to direct one with himself in it, of course, and I guess he left the project for whatever reason.
Old heroes are almost.
Sorry, go.
I was gonna say old heroes are almost better than almost always better than younger heroes because they're cynical, and I don't like naive heroes.
And he is very cynical. That's part what's interesting. That's why, like, their idea of how to do Batman versus Superman was actually kind of cool, because basically the whole thing is, did you ever watch Man of Steel?
I didn't. I did watch. I have seen clips of it. But I'm not gonna watch it.
There's tons of destruction in Man of Steel.
Right. I remember that complaint.
Superman
a lot of
destroys
collateral damage.
and it's a lot of collateral damage.
A lot.
So how Batman versus Superman starts is basically Batman. He finds out that like one of the buildings destroyed was kind of related to where his workers were. Or maybe it was one of his buildings. I don't really quite remember. It affects though like the people he cares about and like his workers or something like that.
Okay.
Like, some kind of Wayne security guard or something, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And
it
so
only
he's
matters
like,
because it hits personally.
yeah, pretty much. And he's just like, who the hell is this guy? And so he kind of, it is kind of meant to be like this cynical, I've been dealing this run around more than you have. Who are you? Kind of thing. He's also, it's a Batman that kills people. He does. He uses a gun.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Cool.
I mean, hey. So he's not afraid of that they just make that very blatant, which I think a lot of people didn't like. I thought,
yeah, I can understand that. I like it, but I understand.
Yeah.
And so stuff like that. They had like a reason to get them to fight, but the reason that they come together and resolve their differences is the infamous Martha scene, if you haven't heard that.
If you
I've heard this.
Martha, it's like heavy rain. Both of them just keep shouting, Martha,
jeez.
Martha.
Who is
Basically-
Martha even?
So basically some
Martha
writer
Wayne and Martha
figured
Kent.
out
Oh.
some writer figured out that Batman and Superman's mothers are the same
This is the
name.
dumbest
And
plot ever.
That's all
Wow.
it is. Basically, oh gosh, it's so bad. So basically, like, they're fighting. Basically, like, Superman's mom is kidnapped and in trouble, and Batman's fighting Superman because whatever or something. Lex Luthor's setting it up. He's manipulating them. And at one point, like, Superman, I think, is actually dying. Like, he's losing to Batman because
He has a
this big,
kryptonite
tech
spear.
Yeah, he's got the kryptonite.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's actually not a bad fight. And then all of a sudden, he's like, oh no, not Martha. And Batman's like, Martha? How do you know Martha?
Because my mom has a super unique name, I guess.
I've never
Yeah.
met
And I don't-
anyone.
Who calls your mom by their first name?
That was the part that made me go, why didn't you just say mom? And then that probably would also snap him at being like, mom? Because, yeah, he thinks of him as some, like, evil alien. So, yeah, I mean, that probably would snap him out a little bit. So, yeah, if you don't need to
Who the
stretch
hell thought
yourself-
of it? I just want to know, is that the first draft? Or, like, I just really want to know.
Ugh.
How
What
many
was that
like
movie?
versions
Was
until
it-
they got to that one?
Was it Brightburn? What was the movie about the kid? Yeah, Brightburn.
Yeah, Brightburn,
About
yeah.
basically
The horror
like
Superman
basically
type thing.
child Superman. Yeah, it's a horror movie.
Yeah.
I never watched it. It's got good reviews, decent reviews. Yeah, very decent.
Probably
very
better than
middling.
Batman versus Superman. trust me.
Probably.
I'm sure it is. If you like horror, probably better than Batman vs Superman.
Yeah. I'm probably not going to watch it, but it's like, I like the idea a lot.
I remember watching Batman vs Superman and completely like not aware of that plot line, and then when it happened, I'm like, what? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Are they really
I
going with
watched-
this?
Yeah, it's so bad. We watched in the theaters, and it was actually kind of sad because
Oh my God.
basically my family wanted to get tickets because my parents know, they kind of try to keep up with Marvel. Marvel was lesser known at the time, but everybody knows Batman and Superman.
Yeah.
So they were like kind of excited to see this, and so they paid for our tickets. And my brother, like, we're in the car, and he's leaning over. He's like, I already read the reviews. This movie's awful. I went, okay. And so we just sat there. We're just like,
if I'm not mistaken, I watched in the theaters Suicide Squad.
I did too.
Yeah.
And I did not have enough alcohol. My biggest regret, basically a bunch of friends of mine were like, we're going to go see it even though we know it's terrible. And I went, okay, sure, fine. My biggest mistake was like not getting a driver to drive me home so I couldn't drink while watching it. That was my biggest mistake. I wish I had some alcohol watching that movie. I don't know which is worse though. Suicide Squad or Batman versus Superman?
I think Suicide Squad had its moments, and Batman vs Superman
Yeah.
also had its moments, but both of them is
Yeah.
just not worth for those moments at all. Not worth it.
Yeah. Batman vs. Superman was like, I liked Lex Luthor, and Wonder Woman was the best moment of that movie. Suicide Squad did have some touching moments, but I don't know. If I really want to watch something like Suicide Squad, I'm going to watch Birds of Prey, which is a superior movie.
I would say I would consider Birds of Prey like the best DC superhero movies as technically superhero here.
I need to rewatch it. I love that movie so much, and I only watched it once because nobody else wanted to see it again. I need to see if I can find a way to see it because I will stand on
Don't
this
you
soapbox
have
to anybody that
DC,
tells me it's a bad movie.
Was it Universe or whatever it's called, their streaming service? Don't they have their
They're
movies on there?
They're now with HBO. Yeah, DC Universe is not a separate thing. It's now through HBO, from what I understood.
So wouldn't that like increase your subscription then? Because I'm gonna assume HBO is a bit more expensive.
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
HBO Max or something, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, no wonder no wonder Snyder thing is on HBO.
Exactly.
Yep. Did you play anything, Sarah?
Not too much. So I played a comfort game that I've already played before, and there's really nothing to talk about. There's this visual novel that I played some time ago called Cinders. It's basically like a retelling of Cinderella. So, I mean, very typical, you got your routes, you got your different endings, you got 3 guys to pick from, that kind of thing. The main reason, it's on the Switch, and I was able to kind of get a discount on it for whatever reason, and so I bought it, because I was like, I just need a comfort game that I know. And I've just been, like, getting through it, trying to get because I never got all the endings the first time I got it. I think I have it on my computer.
Yeah, it's from 2012.
Yeah. So it's old, but the art's beautiful. The writing, actually, to be honest with you, looking back, I feel like I kind of first got the game with rose-colored glasses. I was also younger at the time when this game came out, so I'm sure at the time the game came out, I thought the writing was superior. Looking back on it, it's a little pretentious and pedantic, I would say, with not always, like, excelling writing to satisfy that. They kind of, people get into some weird, like, moral and philosophical, like, discussions about, like, freedom and independence and all this stuff. It's like, and, like, women's rights and stuff. I'm like, all right, this is a little heavy on the nose. But the art's beautiful, and the way they do the endings is really cool because there's, like, 4, like, main different endings. But within those are many variations, and the variations can depend on, like, what kind of a person you were throughout the story, whether you were, like, nice, kind, or evil, or in between, like, different variations. And also you can kind of get with different guys within those 4 variations in different ways and stuff like that. So yeah, once you kind of crack the code, it's not too hard to be like, all right, I know this counts, but this doesn't matter. This choice matters, this one doesn't. So like when you try to replay it, you're going to be doing the skip a lot of the times. But it is cool. It is really cool how how your choices do matter as far as like your characterization, how people respond to what you do, and stuff like that. So it's fun. If you're into that kind of stuff, I would recommend it for sure. But it's not everybody's cup of tea. But it was definitely a nice comfort. It's so funny, like hearing the music again just brought back so much nostalgia because it's got very good music. And it was so weird because I was like, oh yeah, I spent hours listening to all of this music and going through this. So, other than that, I honestly just haven't been playing a lot. Mostly we just been watching stuff. So I have more stuff we've watched, but we can get to that after.
What'd you do, Fo?
I played
Black Sad.
More of the Black Sad. I played Black Sad. Which is a video game based off of a comic book I like. It's basically just a noir comic, but everyone happens to be animal people. So the main guy is like a Black Panther, and his name is Black Sad, and he's the detective. And so the video game is basically just a Telltale game. Like, mechanically,
I think I watched like the first episode of your... Is it me, or is it a little bit like laggy, like the frames per second?
I
yeah.
have problems.
Not your recording. I'm assuming the game is kind of like not that well optimized.
Yeah, it definitely feels a little
janky,
not the most polished. I mean, it's barely noticeable, but it is noticeable technically. It's fine. I think it's fine. But yeah, you're right. Good eye to notice that. But yeah, it's good. It's I don't know. It's fun. I don't know if you like noir, if you like mystery. It's that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. I'm liking it. I'll definitely play more.
I do like your skits though. Like they're not.
Oh.
Like they're not laugh out loud funny, but they're funny. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like they're funny, but they're not like make you like ha ha ha.
Okay, I need to make them funnier. I see.
I thought that was what you were going for, like just dry.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely fairly pun based. They're not like physical comedies. It's not going to give you like a belly laugh, I think, as much. I just finished up. It's funny. So I've been writing a noir themed one. I did it for like a they call it a sketch mess. So like me and my friend wrote a sketch in 2 days, and we handed it over to a team, which is like an actor and a director, and they rehearsed it and figured out how they're going to get it to work over Zoom, and they're going to perform it live tomorrow. But I think we're just going to record it on our own later, because if we don't have to do it live over Zoom, we can do things with camera angles and stuff that look better. Because so I guess to give the sketch away, it's about a detective who has poor depth perception. So he looks at somebody, he can't tell if they're alive or dead very easily. So there's a lot of
Did you
moments
base this off of that Batman one, the Batman skit? He's just sleeping, isn't he?
I didn't base it off of that, but it's kind of similar. But there's a lot of scenes with him. Like he'll like grab someone's wrist to detect their pulse, and it's hard to do when two people are in completely different places on Zoom. But like if we're just filming it and then editing it together, we can do like a close-up shot of like just two hands, one holding the wrist. It doesn't really matter if they're the same people or not. So yeah, we'll probably film it and I'll put it on my channel much like, I don't know, like in 4 months. But also that sketch had so many good ideas with it. We might actually just we're considering writing just more scenes, because a good sketch is about 5 minutes, like 3 to 5 minutes, and this one's about 5 minutes. Because we had a lot we wanted to put in it, so we might just write more sketches and just make it like a full on like 20-minute like short movie. Maybe we'll see what we end up writing. We'll probably still keep it as a short as a sketch, but then also just have like a film version of it. I don't know. Anyway, we'll see. On the topic of short things that probably won't make you laugh, I have also been doing. I have like a 50% success ratio with doing one video on TikTok a week. Just because it's a place where I can put a minute or less long video that's completely stupid. So you probably won't laugh, but I technically have a TikTok with 2 videos now.
Oh my gosh.
I would not recommend anyone find it. Just mention it.
I saw
scared.
Those. It's not necessarily a TikTok thing, but those where they do really quick movements and then they like change. They wear like different sunglasses and stuff. I saw somebody recording themselves doing that, and it's insane. They do it all in one take, and it's just manipulating what the camera sees to like, and then putting stuff on. It's crazy. It's like
there's some pretty good editing stuff that happens in those.
Yeah, it's like on the go editing is what they're doing. It's insane. It's really cool. You should. I figured out how to do that.
I should look into it. Yeah, you have to show me an example of what you're talking about exactly.
I'll try to find it.
So I played Black Sad. I also played more of The Raft, or is it just Raft? One of the two. Mm-hmm. The game's pretty long. Like for a game that I think is still technically in early access. They're still releasing a lot of content.
It's a survival game, right?
It's a survival game, but it has a pretty strong like story. Like it's a survival game. It's not. It is sandboxy, but it's not super duper sandboxy. Like it's open world, but it's also randomly generated. So like I'm just gonna style where the wind takes me. If you do that, you can do that, but you'll get bored very very quickly. And so following the very linear story is great and it's fun, but that's generally what you do. So it's not super open world, but it is survival. It's very survival-y. Like you got to manage your food and fend off the shark and that kind of stuff. So I'm liking that. As I know, I think I talked about it before and I said it was very chore-like. That has largely died down. The ship is still very maintenance heavy, or the ship is still very. I have a lot of things going. Like I have trees growing over here, and I have llamas growing wool over here, and I have potatoes growing over here, and I have like metal smelting over here. So like if I wanted to run everything on the ship, that would just be a full-time job I'd never play. But the production of all of this stuff is so great that it exceeds my consumption rate, so I don't need to do all of it all the time. So now I have a lot more like just stores of stuff.
Can
I
you
turn
I can off certain annoying survival-y things?
No, there is a difficulty setting, but you can't turn off the individual specific things. You'll always have to worry about food and water and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, because the game, like, as it's funny because it almost has like a Metroidvania type problem to it, where it gets really fun late in the game once you've like researched and unlocked a bunch of tech. It's like, man, this would have been cool in the beginning, but then what would you have played towards? So it's like, I don't know, cart before the horse kind of a thing. Okay, so I played those 2 games. What else did I play? I think that was pretty much it. I know I played like one episode of one session of like Vermintide 2, just because they came out a long time ago with like a dwarf class that I wanted to play. I paid money for it like a fool, but just wanted to try it out. I think that was pretty much it. I played WoW Classic for like 4 hours, just because I felt like it.
Burning Crusade coming out?
Yeah, later this year, not for a while. I'm thinking I might play it enough just to hit the level cap so I can play Burning Crusade when it comes out, but I'm not committed to doing that yet. We'll see how bored or not I am, or how much other stuff there is to do. Like if it's either play WoW or like I'm also like work on Warhammer miniatures instead or something completely different.
It's insane that we have moved from remasters and remakes to just the old way the MMOs used to be played. Like, and people paying monthly for it. It's crazy. Yeah. Can you imagine Square releasing Final Fantasy XIV before the huge...
Yeah.
And you know that some people would think it's better too.
Yeah. But it's insane people still pay monthly. You have to pay monthly for it, right?
I mean, you just pay your WoW subscription. So you can play WoW or you can play Classic. Like, you just pay Blizzard the money and you can play whichever one you want. The only reason I play Classic is because WoW is at its most fun whenever new content is launched. Like, whenever there's a lot of people online and it's new and it's like living and thriving and there's a community and there's emergent behavior from people interacting, that's when it's fun. And that dies off like within the first month of the thing being new. So I want to get there when it's hot and then just not play afterwards. But it's going to be a grind to hit level cap with Classic rules, because Classic is slow. I mean, it made you feel like you achieved something, kind of, but a lot of hours. So I probably won't make it. We'll see. If I can get someone to play with me, then I might do it. I think that's pretty much it for things I played. I will play more Black Sad and record more Black Sad. Next Friday, Monster Hunter Rise comes out, so I'll be playing that. It's on the Switch, and I don't have a capture card, so I won't be recording it, but I will definitely be getting that.
I think it's coming on PC as well.
What? Then maybe I won't get it on the Switch.
Don't quote me on that.
If I look on Capcom, what do you say, Capcom?
Switch.
Tell me your secrets. Maybe I want it on the Switch.
Like,
what do I want it on?
Because I do know it's a Switch exclusive, but it could be like a 1-year exclusive. I'm not super sure.
I see. I might get it on the Switch.
According to The Verge, Monster Hunter Rise was made for the Switch, and it's coming to PC too. But that's just okay. What does it mean?
I still might get it on the Switch just because I don't really have any games I'm playing on the Switch.
If
I never finished Hades. I never beat. What?
If you're gonna play Monster Hunter on the Switch, I would highly recommend you to get this. It's a Hori. It's just for like just for handheld mode. It's a Hori like.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they have like.
They
have all like basic.
I can't
colors,
play
like blue,
handheld mode right now because my joystick did the crap out thing that they all do.
Yeah, don't play Monster Hunter. Seems like a game that will fuck your joystick up. So
yeah, I mean, I have two controllers I use.
I would say this one is. I have like the Pikachu electric version. I wanted the super cute Pikachu Eevee version that came in like turquoise blue. That's my favorite color.
What's it called?
Hori.
Hoary.
Hori. That's like a brand of like third party peripherals.
Okay.
Just look up the Hori, like, what is it called? Shit. The box is all in Japanese, so.
I see it.
Twitch
only, Split
this is
Pad.
only for Split Pad. That's the one. Hori Split Pad. Split Pad Pro, I think. It's not super expensive. It's slightly cheaper than a set of Joy-Cons. But I definitely recommend it for medium to slightly bigger hands. And if you're gonna play a lot on handheld. Yeah.
Cool. Also, these amiibos look cool. I don't have any amiibos. I probably won't buy these, but they look cool.
Yeah, I've never got amiibos.
I have a friend who's like all the Animal
amiibo
Crossing
functionality into the games? I feel like that's sometimes a forgotten feature.
I feel like at most games, if they have anything, it's unlock a skin. Smash Brothers has some stuff. That's all that I know. Maybe
And
Legend of the Zelda games have
Nintendo
something.
games that does it, yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
certainly
Nintendo
if it's not a
feature.
Nintendo game, it's going to have basically nothing. I feel like. I'm not speaking from experience. I played the Pikmin 3 demo, and that was pretty good, actually. I'm not going to buy it just because Pikmin always has that race against the clock element that sucks. Like, it's too much pressure. It's not real pressure, but it's like, I can't handle it. I don't want it.
I
I'm
need to
not having
relax
fun.
in my Pikmin game.
Yeah. And I feel too bad when the Pikmin dies.
I
Like,
didn't know
don't
it
have
had
that.
a
I'm
race
too
against the
weak.
clock kind of thing.
Well, like, basically, in Pikmin, you have, like, some amount of time. I don't know how much it is in real time, but basically you can only be out during the day. Because when the monsters come out, there's too many monsters, and they'll kill you. So you have to get back to your ship. And every night you eat food. So you have to at least acquire, like, one food every day. Otherwise, you'll, like, eventually, like, I don't know what happens when you run out. Is it a game over, start over from zero? I don't actually know. But it's just stressful to me. Like, I gotta make progress every day. And if I don't, it's bad. Yeah, that's it for things I played. I guess things I watched. I watched all of I finished season 1 of a 5-year-old anime called World Trigger. Season 1 was 73 episodes. It's about these people in Japan and like alien, big kind of smallish kaiju-ish monsters like come into the world and start attacking people. And it turns out that there's like this organization called Border, which protects against them. And it gets really into like how people have adapted to alien tech to fight the aliens with. It's a really good anime because it explains everything very clearly. Like the rules are explicitly laid down to you all the time. But because of that, that's why it's 73 episodes, because they'll be like, here
73.
in this one episode. It's just a lot of explaining, but I like it, and it's pretty fun, and it's pretty smart. Like, I don't think any other anime has as frequently been like, why are they doing? Oh, they are. Okay, they're doing that thing. They'll explain why they're not doing the thing. Like they think of it, and so it's pretty intelligent, which is what
Very
I like.
aware then.
Yeah,
They don't break
the
their
season
rules
2
often, I guess.
The season 1 aired 5 years ago. Season 2 just started airing like a couple months ago. Ooh. So I'm like 3 or 4 episodes into season 2 now, and it's kind of fun just to see the quality change in animation.
Just gonna mention this because I'm a mainstream little bitch, but I feel like I'm gonna go back to. I just want to try to finish Attack on Titan because I like watched the first 2 seasons, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, the last episode or last season is airing soon-ish.
Yeah,
And then it's
Just
done.
want to know what
you
happens.
think?
I think so.
I think it's
Oh.
done, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, people are pretty
4
excited.
seasons, I think.
I never got into Attack on Titan.
I didn't finish season 2.
The
I like
first 2
season 1 a
seasons were
lot.
good, and then I just
I should
kinda
watch
like,
more. It's just the problem with me is everybody I personally know who really likes Attack on Titan has no taste, and everything else they like I don't like. So I'm like, oh, if you really into this, maybe I shouldn't watch it. But there are a lot of people who like it. Who I'm sure it's
mostly
fine.
like it for the mystery of what the hell the Titans are and where they come from, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That's my
it seems
biggest
interesting. I can't handle eating people.
Oh yeah, that
It's
was
one of
this
my-
gory as fuck. It's
pretty-
really scary.
It's pretty gore porny.
It
It really
is.
What is it,
revels
like,
in it.
first
And
episode,
I
I
get
think.
people like.
The mom died,
Yeah.
right? That one, like, what
Yeah.
the hell,
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah. I think I watched the first episode because like, no, Sarah, you gotta watch it. And after the first episode, I went, I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't
I'm
blame
good.
you. I almost wanted to stop after the first episode.
You know, I get why
don't-
people like it though. I really do, but I got.
I don't know that it's in terms of quantity, it is gorier than Berserk. In terms of brutality, I feel like Berserk is worse. But Attack on Titan's still just like oh yeah, like look at how much blood and teeth there are. It's just like getting off on it. And you're like, oh, I'm not enjoying it like you are.
I've heard of Berserk. Berserk, I don't think I could watch. I heard what happens to the main. One of the
I think you could watch
characters,
it up until the finale, basically.
Yeah, and I was like, you know what?
I'm really
bad.
confused though.
Good.
Are there
And
2
it's just hard to
Berserks?
watch. There are 2 Berserk seasons.
Seasons.
Well, and
so,
there
like
are-
so the really old one is continued in the 3D looking one, like exactly like
So
continuation.
Pretty much. So the manga, like chapter 3, the arc 3 of the manga is a flashback, and arc 3 is the original anime from the 90s. And so the new anime, that's the crappy CGI stuff, is... I think it's arc 4. It basically picks up... So, it is a continuation, but there's a lot of time in between those two things.
Also,
or it might even be arc... it might be one. It might be one. The new one might be arc 1 that we flashback from. But the point is, like...
Okay.
Yeah. So the anime is more in a chronological order, not a published order.
Okay. Also, I got really confused with the nipple rub. I was like, was that a Titan nipple rubbing or something in Attack on Titan?
No, it's the...
I don't remember that.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I can't do it because it'd be obscene and we'd get kicked off of YouTube. But yes.
It's the South Park joke. Like, oh, is the cable too high? Your internet too expensive? Oh, that's terrible. Ooh.
Yeah. Speaking of old anime, I actually did watch All in One Day, which was I don't know if it was a good or bad decision, but it was only 12 episodes. Madoka Magica.
Classic. I haven't
Magical
seen it.
Girl. It's known as like the dark, like it's a dark kind of twisted magical girl series. It's only 12 episodes. They have movies, but we couldn't. There's I guess like 2 movies that retell the story and a movie that's a sequel, but we can't find it. We couldn't find it in English, so I don't know how to get it. But I watched the whole show. I was resistant to watching it at first because I knew about it, and I was like, I don't know if I can handle this. But my wife wanted to watch it because she likes those kinds of twisted anime, but also it was promised some Yuri elements, which sort of. So we watched it.
Wait, what rating is this anime?
It's not. Sorry. When I say Yuri, I should probably say shoujo ai. Like, it's nothing sexual. It's more like just girls maybe kissing. They're not.
I see.
We're desperate for any kind of like female relationship anime.
I feel like Japan's not super
between.
Big on that. Officially.
No, I can tell you some of the good ones. I have seen most of them. Let's just put it that way. Anyway, beside the point. Yeah, it's definitely, like, if you're interested in kind of that, because it was kind of a culture classic because of what it represented, it's worth a watch. I have to say, it's actually not as, like, dark and heavy to watch as I thought it would be.
Okay.
Really, basically, the 3rd episode has an infamous twist in it, because the first 2 episodes, like, you can tell something's wrong, but it gets really, like, screwed up in the 3rd episode. But even that part, like, it was screwed up, but it wasn't nearly as, like, gory as I thought. Like, it's what implied to have happened is bad. Like, it's like, ugh. But, like, how much they show of it is not nearly as gore porn as I thought it would be. So that was nice. And it is, like, it has messed up themes in it. Like, don't get me wrong. It is pretty messed up. But, like, the ending is definitely kind of bittersweet, and kind of strange. But it's not bad. It's definitely, like I said, I watched it all in one day, so I'm a little hazy on the details. But the only thing I have to caution you is that if you are hoping to see the main character turn into a magical girl by episode 2, buckle up. It's not. It's different.
Just
like
watch
I almost
She-Ra.
don't even. Kinda, yeah. I kind of want to rewatch She-Ra now because I watched that show in like 3 days. 3 days!
I still haven't.
How
I
many
need to finish
seasons?
it. I only watched season 1 or the first 12 episodes.
Seasons or 5 seasons? I don't know.
Did you watch the
longer
whole
than that.
thing in 3 days?
Yes!
It's
in
5
like 3 to 4
seasons.
days.
Jeez.
Yeah. Yeah.
The hell? Don't you have like work
were-
and like food to eat or something?
We were on our honeymoon. We were on our
okay,
honeymoon,
okay.
so we had
That's
like
a pretty
all day.
fun
Yeah.
honeymoon.
Yeah.
We had like all day to watch it and stuff like that. So
Still
and
though.
that's how my
Still though.
Yeah. Listen, that is hazy on the details too. That was one where I was like, "Oh, we're gonna keep going. It's been episode 5. Oh, we're finished with the first season. Oh boy." Like I said, we watch shows very differently. I have just decided any show that I want to really, really watch, I'll just watch by myself. But anyway, back to Madoka Magica. Definitely, like, it's a quick show, 12 episodes. If you're curious about it, I'd say give it a watch. It's definitely interesting, and I do like their kind of take on just the magical girl mythos and stuff like that. So it's.
I haven't been watching a lot of
interesting.
animes. I really do want to try to continue to get back into Attack on Titan. Just want to see the ending.
Yeah, for sure.
Also,
for
One
sure.
Punch Man season 2. I haven't watched that.
It's worth watching. It's not as good.
Not as
It's
good. Yeah,
okay.
that's why I just didn't bother too much.
My
But
brother's been watching Demon Slayer.
Demon Slayer.
I saw a trailer for that. Not sure what the hell it is.
Good.
It's good.
It's pretty good. I've only watched like the beginning part and the end part because he mostly watched it by himself. The art style is really good. I really like the art.
Apparently, the
animation.
Dota anime is stupid.
There's a Dota anime.
Yeah,
I remember they announced it. I didn't know it was out yet.
Like they try to be Castlevania from the Netflix one, the Castlevania, and
Oh no! Yeah, that was good.
Castlevania is
But this is
definitely
not.
good. Yeah.
I need to finish Castlevania. I didn't finish season 3.
I was
Okay.
gonna finish it either. I'm halfway through season 2.
Castlevania is very good. The two shows apparently that looks like Castlevania, the Dota one and the Zeus one. What is it? Zeus's
Yeah.
Blood. Also no, don't watch. Don't.
Child
Don't
of
watch
Zeus.
it. Damn it. Okay.
Blood
The
of Zeus.
Child
I
of
had high
Zeus?
hopes for that one.
Blood
I
of
won't watch
Zeus?
it though.
Blood of Zeus.
Someone
yeah.
recommended it to me. I won't watch it. Okay.
Okay.
It's
Don't watch
stupid.
it.
It's
I
really
did watch.
stupid.
Netflix has it's CGI, so it's not really anime. I don't think it's Japanese. It's not anime at all. Maybe. Pacific Rim Dark.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was- It was good. It's very short. It feels more like a teaser, like to be continued. Like it's only like 6 episodes. It doesn't get very far, but I liked what I saw. It was good. It doesn't really hold back. Like I mean, you see people die, which is like, oh, I was not expecting this, because like the main characters are young enough. I'm like, is this a shonen? I don't really know, but like it's got death, so I'm like, maybe it's not a shonen. I don't really know. That's it for me. I think. I guess a couple.
Did you watch, Shar?
What?
Oh, sorry. I thought you were mentioning something you did watch, Shar, and I interrupted you.
I don't think so.
Not
I wanted
anime,
to.
if
I
it's
want to
anything
feel like I want to.
I've been watching noir movies to just do research for my noir thing that I'm working on. So I watched The Maltese Falcon, which is a classic, very boring, would not recommend it. I'm sure it's a great masterpiece of a movie, but just whatever. And then finally, I watched The Cheap Detective afterwards, which I watched purely because it stars Peter Falk, who I absolutely adore. And it turns out it's basically a direct parody of The Maltese Falcon. So that was actually very fun. It's like the Naked Gun of noir. I'd highly recommend. I think people should just watch The Cheap Detective. Is an underrated gem of a movie. Pretty good. Maybe not as good as Naked Gun or Airplane, but I liked it a lot. And that's it for me. That's everything.
I mostly
That I
watched
care to share.
WandaVision. We already talked about that. But there are 2 games that I just finished recently, and I highly recommend both games to both of y'all. Prey. I just finished that yesterday. It's a 2017 game by Arcane Studios, the people who made Dishonored.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
I forget.
It looks too
Yeah.
scurry.
I actually, so the first time I tried it was like a year ago. I bought it on sale. I played like first 5 minutes. I was like, holy fuck, this is scary. I refunded it, and then I just keep hearing so many good things about it. There's a RPG and all that. I tried it again, and it's really scary in the first part of the game. Once you get in the middle where you get a little bit stronger and you get your shotgun, it's less so. And
Aha,
it's really,
shotgun.
really good. It's just so good. I love it. It's an
Okay.
amazing game. It's completely underrated. I don't think it's sold as well as it should. And I pretty much got it 80% off, so wait for a sale season, you can get 80% off. It's insane.
That's a lot. It's a good number.
Yeah. And I also like it that right at the end, there's a couple of missions that you can do, and depending which mission, you get which ending. So that's nice. I really like the whole, like, the decisions at the end kind of just let me see the different endings. But there's also, like, a twist after the ending, and that one is determined by what you did during your entire playthrough. So I just really, the whole storytelling is really cool. The visuals, like, just the way everything looks, it has that it has like a weird blend of futuristic sci-fi stuff, but also like leather couch furniture that you see from the 60s. Like, it's just really, I just really love that blend. It looks really cool. I love all the different powers. You can do like just a full human power playthrough. You can just do a full alien power playthrough. I did like a mix of, I got different. And then if you get like 3 alien powers, like 3 alien skill nodes, then turrets will see you as an alien and start shooting at you.
Oh,
So there's
that's pretty
yeah,
cool.
Yeah, I really, honestly, it's an amazing game. Like it's,
Okay.
I definitely, it's a first person like action shooter RPG. It's not like a shooter. It feels like a BioShock kind of shooter.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah,
make that
so it's not like
comparison.
Call of Duty. Yeah. So I think 4 would like that. Sarah, I think you would love 13 Sentinels.
Yes,
I know this one.
I've heard that I need to play this game like immediately.
It is
Very
a
Zero
blend
Escape
of
series.
it mashes strategy, tactics strategy game with a visual novel,
Yeah.
and it's a PlayStation 4 exclusive. And I will put it up there with all the other exclusives that make the PlayStation 4 like it's a must play. It's very niche though because it's strategy tactics plus visual novel.
Yeah.
But the storytelling is just amazing. There's like 13 different characters and you get to see the story from all of their perspectives. And the tactics one you can make it really hard or like but I played it on normal and I didn't lose. I think I had to restart one battle out of like 30 or something. So it's not that
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah, I've heard it's like very Zero Escape series esque kind of writing.
And it's
so.
made by fucking Vanillaware. They made Odin Sphere. They're the ones that known for the
Yes,
super
Odin
beautiful
Sphere.
art and the 2D action
Yes.
scroller brawlers.
Mm.
And they made this like tactics visual novel, and it's the story is really good. You will have like your favorite characters, and I do feel a couple of characters could have used more screen time, but you will care for all of them. Like it's just like
Yeah.
the whole, they just blend so well. And then the story is there's like, I don't want to say too much because it's a game that you just gotta play. Like you shouldn't know anything about it and just go in.
Yep, it's been recommended to me by people who like similar games as I do, and I'm like, oh, I almost kind of wish they had it for the Switch because I
Oh
probably
yeah,
would
it would be
able to
perfect
get
for
it
the
immediately.
handheld.
I know, but
It's
I won't be
definitely a
anytime soon.
must play for visual novel fans. And if you like, and I also feel like if you like JRPGs, I think
Yeah.
you wouldn't, but you don't really play visual novels. I think this is a good one to get into because it's not a visual novel that requires choice. Everything's linear.
Yeah.
It's just shown
Yeah.
from like 13 different perspectives, and oh my,
Right.
it's just the art is beautiful. Like it's so beautiful, and the music is
Oh, I mean, yeah, those guys are.
it's
such beautiful
flawless.
art.
I have no
Yeah.
complaints about the game at all. It's flawless.
Yeah, I'll need to get it.
You need
I
to
never
play it.
played Odin Sphere. My brother did, but I always just loved looking at the artwork.
Artwork's
just 'cause
amazing.
It was always
But
so beautiful.
the thing that is the best part about this game is the story and the storytelling devices. It's just
Yeah.
go play it.
I'll need to get it.
Too bad it's a PlayStation 4 exclusive, and Vanillaware is a really small studio, so I don't think you'll be seeing.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna get
Yeah.
a PlayStation 4 or 5 anytime soon, this is one of the games that people definitely. It also sold like, I think it sold like 100K when it released, and then now it's up to like 400K. So it's not a huge, because it's quite niche. It's like visual
Yeah.
novel,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
exclusive visual novel
I'll-
too with that.
Yeah. Once my brother finishes with what's that called? Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I'll maybe try to kick him off.
Definitely play it. Like, so yeah. So you should play
But yeah,
Prey, and Sarah, you must play 13 Sentinels. You must.
Okay.
It's
Yeah, it was on my mind. I definitely have heard it before, and I think I saw your tweet, and I was like, oh, okay, I gotta look this up because you're not the first one to be like Sarah.
and
this is, like,
I
your game.
decided to play it because of somebody else.
Yeah.
This entire game, all the sales is like word of mouth, man. It's like
Yeah,
crazy.
for sure. Yeah, the main reason I even had interest in it, like I said, is some other friends of mine that they all like Zero Escape series and all those kinds of games. And they're like, yeah, this is a lot like that. And I was like, really?
I wouldn't
wanna
say
spy the
so,
people
though.
at Oatsphere? I don't know. Yeah, maybe they're just saying that the story is really good.
Because in Zero Escape and 999 and I can't remember what was the third one. It's very much like
Zero Escape series is the third.
there's a lot of
trilogy,
puzzles, right? And you try to escape.
Yeah,
death.
yeah.
Do choices
yeah.
matter in this game? In the
It matters, yeah, technically, because there are multiple endings.
Oh, okay.
And in order to like get to some of the good ending, because Zero Escape series, the whole thing about it is, as you like, you think you only have 2 choices, but then as you play and replay the game, you realize you have 3 choices. It's that kind of a game. It's the best way to describe it.
I would say the only similarities Zero Escape has to it, like I didn't play the Zero Escape games. I just know like roughly what it is. I think the only similarities is that it's a visual novel. And wait, do you get to play multiple perspectives?
No, because your perspective is very important. But there are multiple characters who really matter.
Okay.
So that it might be partially that. I think it was just mainly that it's a very like deep storyline, which it is. It's a very deep storyline, so it could be something like that.
You will definitely be very confused at first with 13 Sentinels.
Yeah,
I will not lie.
And I think that's part of that too.
You have no idea what's going on.
Would you say the storytelling is anything like Nier?
No, I wouldn't say so.
Not quite.
So
okay.
I played both Niers, and both Niers requires you to play through the game multiple times to see and understand what's really happening.
And that's kind of how Zero Escape works too. So I think it was just people were just saying that it's just really good story. I just know that people who liked it were like, this is also really good. And I was like, okay.
But 13 Sentinels does not have that barrier. It's actually very straightforward. So like...
I'm wondering, maybe it was Fire Emblem 3 Houses they were telling me it was like, which would make a little bit more sense. But I don't know.
If it's more of a perspective thing, then probably. Because the only like barrier to the storytelling is... So, like, you need to finish character A's specific event to unlock character B's progression in the story. But it's very linear. Yep. It's like, just imagine 13 rows and everything is just linear. And they all, like, interact with each other depending on the different... but everything is happening in a straight line.
I understand. Yeah. No, I'm starting to understand why people were relating the two. It's very kind of a shallow. But I would
say 13 Sentinels is unique. To be fair, I haven't played a lot of visual novels. I played a few, but I haven't really played one where they showed so many different perspectives and they also mash it well with that strategy. It's just God.
Yeah. I'll take a look.
It's one of my favorite games in recent memory.
Yeah.
And it is the best game I've played this year. So far.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Prey is pretty good, but then it is something else. Like, it's just...
Yeah.
I cannot... I just wish more people played it. Like, that's all. I'm just...
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll see if I can see if I can kick some people off. Start to get on.
So that is all I did. Quick news stuff?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Not much this week. Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne HD Remaster, Jesus, that was a mouthful, is confirmed for the West. So English localization, May 25th. Super cool. It's coming to the Switch and PC. Yep. PC is not, not announced, but they rated it for PC. So
okay.
You don't rate something if you don't release it, right? So, which is really cool because I did have a PlayStation 2 and I did try playing one of the Shin Megami Tensei games. And I was a kid and I sucked at it, so I'm gonna try this one out. So hopefully, Life is Strange. It's getting a new game, True Colors.
It is indeed getting a new game. Yeah.
They are not going with the episodic format, which is interesting.
Yeah, I didn't look too deeply, but I watched the trailer, so I don't know the exact specifics about it, but very interested. I've always been into
I'm assuming
empath,
it's just a straight up, like, when the game comes out, this is the story. Like, this is it.
Probably,
Since
yeah.
No episodes.
The only thing I do know is a character in it. I never played Before the Storm, but apparently a character in this one, True Colors, also appears in Before the Storm. So... there must be some connection, or it's in the same universe.
They are also remastering Life is Strange 1 and Before the Storm in a HD collection. Because Life is Strange True Colors uses like brand new animations and new, like, probably a new engine and stuff. It looks really nice, actually.
It does look very nice. I gotta play Before the Storm. I never did.
I started Before the Storm within 2 hours, and it just didn't grab me like Life is Strange 1 did. But I finished Prey yesterday, so I just started Life is Strange 2. So
yep.
Ooh, that was heavy right from the beginning. Holy shit, what the fuck? Because you play Hispanic, Latinos, I don't really know.
Yeah.
And the racism just bam. First 20 minutes, like, fuck you, punch you in the face. Yep.
Jeez.
So that wasn't really pleasant to go through. So honestly, I just hope that Life is Strange True Colors will get the same amount of media coverage that number 1 did, because number 2 did not get as close as number 1 did. And
no, I didn't even know when it came out.
And
I
I'm not
knew it was being announced.
And I'm not sure if True Colors is gonna get it too, because it doesn't star a white protagonist. I'm not sure if that's what Life is Strange. I mean, Life is Strange 1, to be fair, was like the first time they did it, and it was like super critically acclaimed and everything. But it kind of shows that, you know, Life is Strange 2 didn't get close to the media coverage, and it stars a couple of Latino boys. And Life is Strange True Colors is gonna star a Asian American woman, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I didn't quite look at the details.
Yeah, I just saw the trailer. So
someone who's not white.
Yeah, so hopefully.
Yeah, we'll see.
Next up is GeForce Now streaming is now $10, which was previously $5. So yeah, the double in price. So yeah, we knew it was coming, I guess. But double is quite big. And the last one, this is the big one that happened like the past month. Activision Blizzard is firing a bunch of people.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
They originally reported that it was going to be 50 people from the esports and live events department in Europe, I think. And now it's up to 2%, which is 190 people. They're going to get 90-day severance, a year health insurance, and $200 worth of Battle.net gift cards.
I heard about that.
Oh boy.
Yeah, because that would be the first thing I'd want to do. These people are just so detached.
Well, I feel bad when Ken play WoW.
So there's also the part where Bobby Kotick is getting a $200 million bonus.
Yep, that's the huge cherry.
So that just came out right after the firing news. That's they couldn't even wait for like 2 minutes.
No, right?
$200 million.
Capitalism works for me.
So 200 people are getting fired. If all of them made 100K, what would that be? 20 million? Jesus Christ.
Somebody did this math already, I'm sure.
Like, nobody's worth that much.
Gross.
Like, what does he do?
No.
What does he do?
No,
He does
no way.
nothing. He does nothing.
I'm
a
just
leader.
really annoyed about like, you know, there are some people who like, they justify all these crazy bonuses, salaries by saying like these people like without them the company like no, these people if they leave the company will just run just fine. They won't.
I don't
nothing
think
will
a
happen.
CEO is drastically more special than like almost any other position.
You're say
irreplaceable.
that they pretty much try to say like this millions of dollars in salary and bonuses are like equal to like the value they bring in. So a cleaner making like whatever is equal to the value like this. And then there are also the people who like, oh, the CEO also have their stresses. So like, people don't understand how much little like
doesn't scale linearly.
Yeah, it doesn't. So like
it's an exponential graph.
I really don't understand how whenever people or like celebrities or rich people try to like relate to like it's not even close to being the same thing. Like seriously, 200 million. Jesus Christ! How many gift cards is that? Fucking hell!
I don't know what the biggest gift card they have is, like $200 maybe.
How many years of WoW can you play?
Oh man.
So yeah,
It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
Very disgusting. I will try to end this on a little bit happier note. PlayStation is giving away free games. So if you have a PlayStation, they are doing it like a play at home, you know, COVID giveaway kind of thing, I guess. They did one last year, and this year they're doing it again. Starting March 25th, you're gonna get you can download a bunch of free indie games and PlayStation VR games. So like Abzu, Enter the Gungeon, Res Infinite, Subnautica, so The Witness, some pretty cool indie games. And then on April 19th, you get to download Horizon Zero Dawn for free. So that's cool. So yeah, you're getting $200 million worth, I guess, or something. I don't know. It's crazy.
This is very minor news. It's not even news. It's not new. But Disco Elysium Final Cut is coming out next week as well.
Oh, they
March
failed
30th.
to get they failed to get rated in Australia, so that game is never going to go to Australia because it has a lot of a major mechanic has to do with
Kangaroo
drugs
violence.
and alcohol. So yeah, Final Cut.
I didn't think of Australia as being super
Australia's
intolerant of that sort of thing.
super. Like all the GTA games are like Australia
I
has
think they were
quite a few
anti-gun.
banned games. Germany also have quite a few banned games. I would say these two are probably the most. I mean, if we're talking about like countries that are considered the West, basically, these two countries are pretty much they ban the most games. So I'm excited for Final Cut. So I played like a few hours of the original version, and then I heard Final Cut was coming, and then I was like, fuck you, indie developers, fuck you. and then they were like, people who own the first game will get Final Cut for free. I was like, thank you, indie developers, thank you. So I'm just gonna wait for it. It also comes with controller support, so that's why I wanna
Nice.
just wanna chill on the couch and play video games.
Yeah.
Apart from that, Square Enix have their Square Enix Presents. I guess it's something like a Nintendo Direct where they talk about a few games. There's like a huge AAA game that's coming called Forspoken, previously known as something else. I can't remember what it's called. Project something.
Yeah.
And I believe that is also when they announced Life is Strange True Colors, because I think it's being published by Square Enix again. Life is Strange is constantly being published by Square Enix, I suppose.
Yep, it's their publisher.
That is it. Not much else. Oh, did I mention? I'm not sure if I mentioned this the last time we were on. I don't think so. But do you guys remember that game 6 Days in Fallujah?
Oh yeah.
I remember that name. I don't remember what the game was.
The Iraqi War one that's coming out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like a couple of weeks ago, so a month ago, they were like, it's a non-political Iraqi war game. Okay. And a couple of weeks ago, they're like saying it is inseparable from politics. So like, I'm not.
I mean, guess at least they're being more honest now.
I think the headline should be 6 Days in Fallujah, developers and publishers think people are fucking morons.
Yeah, apparently.
I think that's the headline. That should be the headline. Victura, the publisher, thinks you're all fucking stupid. It's a political game about politics. What's so hard to understand?
It's fine. It's totally what I can't even.
So yeah, I'm still really annoyed with how the voice is mostly from like the publishers. Like that's all the media is. Like, they don't care about nobody else. I've seen maybe one non-publisher, non-dev article perspective on it, and it's from a veteran. To be fair, it was against the game because quite a few points against the game, but still it's from a veteran. Like, you know, talk to some brown people once in a while. They're not gonna bite something. Like, it's just fuck. So anyways, I have nothing else.
I got nothing.
I thought I had something, but I don't remember what it was. So yeah, I got nothing.
I think we're good. I'm just gonna play with my robots that transform into.
Did you get a new one? That sword looks new.
So
Maybe
this
it's not.
guy is called
that guy.
Star Saber, and
Okay.
he is fucking huge. Look at him.
He's very large.
He's
yeah.
huge.
He
Oh
is
my
the
gosh.
biggest one I have on display. Not the biggest one I have. The biggest one I have on display, because I have one bigger than this and I have no idea where the fuck to put him.
Like 2 feet tall.
He is About 1 foot, yeah. About a foot.
1 foot, okay.
Yeah, roughly about a foot, maybe slightly more.
What vehicle is he? Like a train? Like spaceship?
So, I'm not sure if you can see, but you see this like chess piece?
Yeah, it's shiny.
The chess piece is legs to a smaller robot. So inside this,
he splits into other robots?
So yeah, so the main guy is actually this small little chess guy. The small guy transformed into a plane, and this big ass armor thing transformed into the backside of the plane. So it's a giant space plane type thing, and he's fucking huge. And he's the main character from the Transformers Victory anime from like 1987. He's one of my favorite characters. I had to get him. He wasn't cheap. Not cheap at all.
Very cool.
Very cool. And I also got one of my favorite characters ever. Megatron from Beast Wars. He transformed into a T-Rex.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So I've gotten quite a few like new ones. I haven't.
T-Rex things are always cool.
What?
Like
yeah.
The T-Rex things are always cool. Like I know they've already made like Logan the movie as kind of like their old man Logan thing, but in the old man Logan comics, which were very different, there's a friggin' T-Rex with a Venom symbiote on it, and it's so cool.
And that T-Rex wasn't a normal T-Rex, right? It was like an actual character or something, right? Isn't there like a couple of like T-Rex characters in the comics? I feel like there is.
At least in Old Man Logan, it was not like a character. It was just like a T-Rex that had escaped from the Savage Lands or something. But you're probably right. There are probably sentient talking dinosaur characters at some point in the Marvel Universe. Anyway, let's wrap up, I guess.
Let's wrap up. Do the thing.
All right, this is Sarahscopic, SARAHSCOPIC. I'm mostly active on Twitter under the same handle. You can also catch me on RNG and T.
And I'm Foehamner. I am actually active on YouTube, once again, finally. Don't find me on TikTok. That's all you need to know.
And I'm Pupunoob, PUPUNOB. You know where. Follow me on Twitter if you... I talk shit about like a lot of different people.
Oh.
So yeah.
Oh. Twitter needs more of that. There's not enough of that on Twitter.
Yeah. This has been episode 182 of the playonultra podcast. Thank you very much for watching this. We'll see you next time. Oh boy.
Boy.